Is it broadcasting? Fix that fan later. Hello, everybody, and welcome into Sunday night, July 6, 2025. I do have audio. Welcome to Ken Style Live with the Z00M Homies, the Z00M Homies with Ken Style Live. We have William, we have Sam, we have Rich, and we have Chris Garrett. Hello, guys, gentlemen. No, your guys' audio is not going out. All right. Try it now. Hello, Jeff.
Hello.
Hello. They went that way.
Yep, we got it now. All right, so that appears to be a problem then. We'll check that out here in a second. Take a gander at chat. Darren Gill has Darren's got the first 10 entries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them anyway. Tony,
How many
a second.
points does he get for that?
No point system here. Robert Michael says, Keen. Greg was fourth, gonna take a nap. Yeah, I didn't take a nap today. Of course, we had issues with the electricity this morning, and that means I slept until nearly 2 o'clock because there was no electricity. One fish says, monkey see, hear no evil, see no evil, and speak no evil. Rick Lakes, hello, Rick. Charlie Purdy, hello, Charlie. Charlie says hello to myself in chat. And John Williams says, I can hear you. And there's no echo because before I started the show, I actually muted the Yeti and had a conversation today with someone south of the Mississippi about the Yeti, and one of us is confused on the function of the Yeti. Susanna Morgan, proud single mother. Hello, Susanna.
Just tell South Mississippi the Yeti is a microphone.
I attempted to do that, and then he very what's the word I want? Condescending reminded me that there is a speaker jack on the bottom that is for headphones. Now he swears up and down you can run speakers from it. I haven't experimented with it yet, but I'm pretty sure you can because the Yeti only gets its power from the USB. It doesn't get a power source from anywhere else, and it's not strong enough to run the speakers.
Wouldn't run speakers then.
No, it won't. It'll run your headphones. I have verified. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the weird thing about that was a ghetto Kinder problem, not an Alex Cheek problem. So
if the speakers are powered, you might be able to run them.
Power speakers maybe, but not normal speakers.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll dig out. I've got speakers. I'll dig a pair out one of these days, or a speaker out and test it just to see. But it's my speakers work just fine, and they're both right here. So
I know the output of this microphone will not run normal speakers.
John Williams says, "Yeti come, Yeti go, bye bye."
Yeah, when I look at my sound settings, it shows each of my monitors having audio output. But what the system doesn't recognize automatically is it's just a jack for headphones on each one.
Right. Oh, Greg.
Hey, what's up?
So a quick Google search says what we've all been saying. I said, can I hook a pair of speakers up to my Yeti? No, you cannot directly connect a pair of speakers to the Blue Yeti USB microphone to use as an output device. But I'm telling you, there's someone in Arkansas says you can't. And I hear a TV. Let me guess.
Well, I don't know. I've never had any trouble with mine like that, Ken.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't have that conversation. I think we covered. He goes to camp in a week. That's going to be a good thing.
Again?
Yeah, he's going to be gone. He goes on a week from today, and he's going to be gone for 6 days. So the first day is a throwaway day.
That's interesting. I wonder a lot of stuff, but I won't talk about it here.
Yeah. He's going to be away from everybody and the dogs. He's just going to be away, and
Well,
looking forward to it.
I can understand that.
Under the impression he's going to get to talk 24 hours, 7 days a week, but he's only going to be at the camp for 5.5 days. But I told him, I said, you need the break. I agree with that. I do agree with him on that.
Yeah.
Nobody can call him, and I seriously doubt he calls anyone. And then he was telling me some of the activities they've got planned while he's there. And then he said the most weirdest thing, that he doesn't know how many people are going to be there because he hasn't been told yet. I said, well, you do realize the camp is not obligated to tell you anything other than you've been confirmed to attend.
Yeah.
So,
Is this a camp for adults or?
yes, it's the same camp that he's been going to since he was a child. And I think it's 3 times a year they have a camp for people that are over 18. And I
All right.
think this is his last year to attend.
18 through probably about 35 or something.
I think it ages out at 32. I think I'm not 100% sure on that.
How old is he? He's around 30,
31.
31. Right. He will be unhappy when he is aged out of this, I'm sure.
Yes, he will. Greg, we have a question specifically for you from the chat room, and we have a viewer that wants to know:
Ooh.
did you get food tonight? Did you get fed?
It's cooking right now.
I grilled pork chops again tonight, and man, they were good too. Long Dog joins us in chat. I be here as usual. I am juggling dinner. Go ahead. Thank you, Long Dog. I appreciate you allowing me the opportunity to continue. I did get your email. It was an interesting link.
I had grilled pork chops at my cafe this morning that I go to on Sundays that were a little dry.
My day was
Depends
different.
which of the cooks in the back gets the order. There's one of them at least that leaves them pretty juicy, which I like. These were just a little bit overdone. These are the thin ones. They're not real thick.
Right. These that I got were pretty thin. They were grilled and they were tasty. So my day went really interesting. I woke up about 9 something before 10. And I was laying in bed contemplating what I wanted to accomplish today and get done and whatnot. And all of a sudden, no power. Power goes out. Great. Next thing I know, my phone gets a message, and it's from the electric company saying, you are experiencing a power outage. And I'm thinking, no kidding. Estimated time to be repaired is 3:30 p.m. This was slightly before 10 o'clock in the morning. So
no shoot, Sherlock.
I know. So I thought, you know what? I can't cook, can't watch TV, I can't use a computer. My laptop's battery doesn't function unless it's plugged in, so I can't use that. Going back to sleep. And I did. I slept till a little before 2 o'clock. However, I noticed when I woke up, the fans were spinning on the ceiling. The router was on, so it didn't take till 3:30 to get it fixed. I have no clue what time it came back on, but I know my little 4-hour nap, was pretty nice. That was pretty nice.
Well, I would have been hot.
I wasn't too happy about it, but there isn't anything I can do about it. I could have washed the dishes, I guess.
I'd have been that kind of hot too, but I would have been hot. Like,
yeah, you know, I didn't even. If it got warm in here, I didn't even notice it. I didn't even get up and open the sliding glass doors and the windows or anything just to get some air circulating through here during that time, because it really wasn't that hot outside. Was not raining, was not storming, was not windy. It was actually a very pretty morning this morning. Yeah, John, you got that right. That
should have just turned on a fan.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Humor from Maryland.
Speaking of power, yesterday morning they finally reopened Tropicana Avenue out here.
From all the things being on the road?
But it was July the 1st, and it wasn't until yesterday morning that Tropicana was cleared enough to reopen.
Wow. And I bet they worked around the clock to get that done too.
Yeah, well, there were a lot of very unhappy business owners along Tropicana,
Well, sure.
particularly the little ethnic restaurants and whatever, because a lot of them lost fresh veggies, lost meat because they didn't have refrigeration.
Lost
Had to
business
throw
because they
away,
couldn't get to them. Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
to throw out a lot of expensive food. Hopefully, they had a little bit of insurance, although not all
Yeah.
of them can afford that.
Yeah. And then you
What
got to hope
happened
that
in Las Vegas?
they
Big
had a,
windstorm. We had like a
Oh,
mile of power
windstorm.
poles knocked over down Tropicana Avenue on July the 1st.
yeah, that was a pretty horrific windstorm you had.
There are several YouTube videos about it if you just search for it.
I'm going to do one better than that. I'm going to look in my history and see if I can find when we watched it on Zoom the other night. And then I'll
I
post the
heard much
link.
on it, but there's been so much other stuff that happening.
But
Yeah, I think Texas has taken a little bit of the spotlight, and rightfully
yeah,
so.
well, I mean, that's a tragedy. There's some fool
Yes, yes,
person from someplace in the deep south has been saying it was all a hoax or it was murder and of all those kids and all of that. I mean, just there's crazy people out there. I don't even know what her political persuasion is. She's just crazy.
yeah. Unfortunately, that's okay. There's Las Vegas Fremont Street experience, not the winds.
Well, that river rose so fast, they really wasn't nothing they could do.
No.
All right, so I'm going to put this in Zoom chat for Chris. There you go, Chris. It's in Zoom chat. And I'm also going to drop it over in YouTube in case anyone wants to go check it out. And John's saying something, but I don't want to talk about the NASCAR race. I was so frustrated. Um, After the power came back on, I made my coffee, made my breakfast, didn't even turn the computers on yet. Went to turn the TV on, go to Amazon because I know Amazon is showing the next 5 races or 4 races. I think it was 2 races ago. Now it's down to 3. Anyway, it's not on Amazon. If you go through Amazon, you have. Yes, I did get your email, Long Dog. I've watched it. It's very interesting. If you go through Amazon, you then have to join Max for I thought it said $16.99, but I'm not sure. So now I'm frustrated. Not only is it not on Amazon, you got to watch it on Max, and I'm not doing that. So I go through my Shield and I'm searching everywhere I can think of to find the race, and I can't find it. So I come in here to the computer, fire up the computer, and first thing I do is I go check my sports page that I've got, and I go to NASCAR, and it's playing on TNT, Turner Network Television. I go back to the Shield, and sure enough, this is 2:20 now, and the race was scheduled to start at about 10 minutes to 1. But apparently, 8 laps into the race or thereabouts, they had a bad accident, red flag the race, and that delayed it, which was okay. So I wasn't real happy that it's not where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be on Amazon. I have Amazon Prime. I pay for it. And I'm beginning to wonder why I'm doing that because half the stuff on Amazon's got commercials now. Half the stuff on Amazon's not on Amazon. I really have to second guess that.
Where's the race at? Where was it at?
Was in the streets of Chicago. This is the 3rd year that they've blocked off, and the Chicagoans, the people that live there, are real happy about that.
Is that another Formula One thing?
No, it's NASCAR. It's the stock cars. Yes.
NASCAR in the streets?
Yep. It's
I
a road
understand
course
that.
literally in the city, down Lakeshore Drive and through the city.
Huh.
I mean, I've seen places in there I recognize because
Yeah.
I've been there.
I didn't know NASCAR did that. I knew the Formula One people did some of that. citizen.
I guess he sent an email to both Jeff and I. He says mine's a different video than what you got. Mine's for creator. I got one about an AI robot that the guy created. I don't know that.
Yeah, I got his email and I saved it to the folder where I keep his
There was
email.
an old computer game back in the late 90s called Midtown Madness, and it was based in Chicago.
It's a good race. What little bit I got to
basically
see.
the same, basically that same area,
And in
like
fact,
Ford Drive and all that.
if I
What
understood
was
him,
raced, I got a racing game that came with one of the PCs I had at work. Of course, they wouldn't let you use it there, and rather than throw it in the wastebasket, I brought it home. But I didn't have the steering wheel and brake and accelerator outfits, you need for racing games. So trying to work it from the keyboard was an exercise in futility, so to speak.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
I got used to using the keyboards. I used the keyboard. I didn't play it. I played it some, but I think we still have it somewhere.
I don't remember what this one was. It was for DOS, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, there was an old one in the early '90s, mid '90s it was an Indy 500 game, and you had to use the keyboard and the mouse, or the keyboard itself, both hands, A and S for speed, and I forget the other one, and then the steering was done with the arrows, and man, that was difficult. But it would have been a cool game had there been an actual steering wheel and a foot pedal and all that. I think they go to Watkins Glen next week, which is weird because that's back to back.
Watkins Glen is like Formula One stuff, though, right?
It's still NASCAR, yeah. All Formula One runs there, IndyCar runs there, NASCAR runs there.
Really, I didn't know NASCAR was doing that kind of stuff. Huh.
Yep.
Although I don't follow
NASCAR for a long time did 2 road coasters a year. No, 3. I'm sorry. They did Watkins Glen. They did the one in Milwaukee and Elkhart something, and then they did Sonoma out in California. And that was it. Now they experimented with the road course at Indianapolis. That was a failure. They experimented with the road course at Charlotte. That was a failure. Now they're in the city of Chicago. And I can't find the schedule.
All right.
Pretty sure that's where they go. Because when they announced it.
Yeah, John, it's in New York.
Yeah.
Watkins Glen.
Watkins Glen is in New York. You'll catch up with chat. Yeah, the guy that won, not only did the guy that won the Infinity race yesterday, or Xfinity, I think it is, he sat on the pole yesterday for the Xfinity and won. He sat on the pole today and won. First driver since Kyle Busch to do it. Back in Indianapolis, of all places. I want to say that was 2008, maybe. It's a while back.
Isn't that uncomfortable sitting on a pole 2 days in a row?
Depends on what her name is.
Touche.
It's just an idea for me. It might be far-fetched for your ability. There's no way I could create anything like that. I belong to Night Cafe, and I've experimented with AI, and I'm not smart enough to create anything like that. I thought it was interesting. I really thought it was going to take a turn for the very dark there for a moment. Thank goodness it did not. But it was interesting. Afternoon, evening, just got act from Walmart. And that's Robert, not Greg. He left the B off the word back. So I want to test something because I've been having issues. We'll see if this is actually going to work.
That's one thing I noticed about the Night Cafe. You can't create anything.
Wait, what?
In the XXX type rating.
Okay, so I'm gonna guess that worked.
Oh, crazy! It's a
stupid is, stupid does, sir.
Walmart, all of the school supplies are out now.
Oh yeah,
Costco, Halloween stuff is out in Costco now.
That didn't surprise me either. Lizelle,
They
Mix
had
TV, hello.
a big, I mean huge box containing a giant skeleton thing that talks or moves or something, like $329 in Costco.
Yeah, that's
I'm
not
going, who
surprising.
does that? You know.
Well, it's the way this world is right now. I mean, when we
Well,
were younger, it wasn't like that.
yeah, who does it is people with more money than sense, but
Yeah,
Somebody had one
very
of
true.
those. Somebody had one of those down the road
Thank you,
last year,
Wintermute.
and the hurricane
No,
destroyed
but I
it.
mean, the head on this skeleton was like a foot and a half wide and about 2 feet tall.
Oh, I would love to get one of those 8 foot tall
I
skeletons
mean,
they have,
and
but
the arm bones were this big around, literally.
yeah.
I mean, it was the biggest animated Halloween thing I ever saw.
Robert says, I was bad tonight. I had a sweet tooth and bought a bunch of sweets. Look out, blood sugar. True. Yeah. Be careful with that.
Ooh, ooh.
It's I mean, every once in a great while, one or two, just a little bit won't hurt you by no means, but just don't buy a whole box of brownies and eat half the box today and half the box tomorrow. That's probably really bad. So the sound bites did work. I got confirmation that they did work. And Lizelle Mix TV, it's 10:20 a.m. in the Philippines and 10:20 p.m. here, 9:20 in the middle of the country, and 7:20 out on the West Coast. So, and I remembered that. I didn't actually look at the clocks to remember that. I actually remembered it. So I'm going to hit the button, and hopefully the dancing girls will work.
Silk and satin and feel the night. Ooh, yeah. Glitter falling, golden light. Shine, shine. Every step a whispered tease. Moving slow like honeybees. Shimmy, shimmy, watch me glow. Take it high and bring it low. Down, down. Velvet shine, I steal the show. Feel the rhythm, let it flow, flow.
That's all, folks.
The nurse didn't keep him on a real strict diet. He hasn't had to start taking any medication yet because she watches him like a hawk.
Diet is a real good thing that if you can change your diet to something that's relatively healthy, you'd be amazed at the difference. When I was first diagnosed as diabetic, I brought my blood sugar down immensely just through diet alone. But it wasn't enough for the doctor. She was still like, "Well, yeah, you've done a good job on that, but we're still going to put you on medications," and that's where we're at today. So,
No, but you just take oral medication, right?
right, I take one Jardiance in the morning, two metformin in the morning, two metformin at night for my diabetes. I take blood pressure medication. I take cholesterol medication. I take vitamin A, vitamin D. Why, I don't know. I mean, skin looks the same. So
Well, I had to
it
start
is what it
taking
is.
vitamin D and calcium. This turns out this medication I'm taking for COPD, although I just have a mild case, it's that Trelegy. And one of the side effects is effects on the bone stuff. So it can make you a little bit weaker boned
Mm-hmm.
over a long period.
Ski
So
Man
I'm doing
says, "LOL, just made
vitamin
the
D
credits."
thing.
Yeah, the credits actually worked tonight and did get everybody. The credits won't pick up anybody prior to the stream starting, but if you chat during the stream, you'll be on the credits. So
Ooh,
I don't know if Doug's doing a show tomorrow and Sans losing power. I probably will do a noon show tomorrow. unless I'm busy. Yeah, right. I want to thank everyone for being here on YouTube. Just a generic thank you to everyone. I also want to thank the Zoom homies for being here. Again, I appreciate it, night in and night out. And if you want to join us on Zoom, spaced out Z00M. Make sure it's 00, not the alphabet OO, and not OO in Tagalog or Cebuano or Ilocano or any of them other languages. It is ZZ, it is OO. I mean, it is 00. Good night, everybody.
Actually, it's a 10 and 10.
What a complaint. Yeah, can you imagine the, oh my goodness.